Hi everybody. What should I speak? I'm really proud to see Shalda ma'am. You know, when she walked in and talking about being Indian, and you know many people who come to India to settle down. Because in Sanskrit, how many of you have done Sanskrit in your school days? Let's hear your hand. So you know about aham, abam, vayam, right? That means what? I. And what is the other? Yep, to you. In this whole universe today, nothing exists except these two. I and you. Who's you? Everybody else other than me. This is what India had discovered, and it said that you are born on this earth not for you, you're born for others. You're supposed to be here to help other people. So India accepts. What is this? Non-violence. What is this? Acceptance. And this is what you and I are supposed to be. What is the other part of the world, rest of the world? Let's not take any. They always say, what do I have? How much is my bank balance? Have you noticed we as Indians have started shifting towards that? You look at everybody today, everybody has to wear something like this. I have to wear this because imagine I am in dhoti and kurta, which is my favorite dress. Kurta pajama or dhoti kurta. I love to wear it. Wherever I go, wherever I go, whichever country, I always wear that. Excepting if there is an IB conference, I have to wear the suit because I'll not be allowed. You'll be surprised. In Taj, Bengal, Calcutta, Taj, Bengal, I'd gone with dhoti, kurta and shawl. And one of the managers came in and said, sir, this dress is not allowed in the club room. Club room is only for Western suit. I said, why? He said, sir, that's the rule. I said, no, call your senior managers. And while the GM was being called and things like that, he's a Bengali. His name is Sagar Samrat. Before he came, there were 2-3 guys came in shorts with rubber slippers. You know, cool guys. With shirt, with a teenage shirt, and the shirt you can see is sleeveless. And they came and everybody going and serving them. I really let that Samrat guy have it. I said, what's wrong with you guys? You'll be amazed. That be proud of it. Why am I talking about it? Shalda ma'am talked about it. She, from the beginning, she says, I'm going to be an Indian citizen. You know what? She really fought for it for 14 years. I know how much she fought. You know, somewhere around 12 years after the government of India, additional secretary to the Prime Minister, because I had written a letter to the Prime Minister. And Narendra Modi ji replied. That's how you see I came into Narendra Modi's picture, because I started writing to him. I said, what is this? But it went on to the lower down, and the additional secretary wrote down, this is not possible, case is closed. I said, utter nonsense, I'm not going to. This is being Indian. I'm saying, never give up. Why did we become independent? Look at it, South Africa, Nelson Mandela. Here, India started that role, Babu Gandhi, father of the country. We said, we are not going to give up. And see, eventually ma'am has got. And you know what came the other day? Day before yesterday. I don't know, is he here? Is Bilal here? Now, Mila is one of the Persian gentlemen around he's with us, and he chose to bring his parents to come and see the school and come and spend a little time with us. So the mother and the father, they speak only Persian, they can't speak English. So the moment they saw Shada ma'am, they couldn't believe Shada ma'am is speaking in Persian, and they said, "You are Persian?" They said, "You really look Indian." I said, "She's more Indian than most of the Indians are." Have you noticed how many of us tend to wear a sari? I'm talking about this being Indian or independence has got a tremendous meaning. This Swadhinata which you're talking about, it's not a day. It's your everyday, every moment that you're doing. Understand, one is, yes, from the oppression, we took independence. We fought, a lot of people died, they really believed in it, and they fought and fought and fought and said, "This is my land." But look at the Indian history in a short, quick glimpse. Think, did you read in your histories? You might be saying, "My God, why talk about school?" Do you remember in the school you read Race for India and Race for Africa? The whole world raced for India, whole world raced for Africa. Africa, why? Diamond. And they wanted to take slaves from them. India, why? Richest country in the world. Why are we down then? Because you and I stopped being independent. We don't believe in ourselves. What do we believe in? Shakespeare and Shelley and Keats and Mount Washington and Elizabeth, Queen Victoria. How many of you remember the ancient, let's say the Marathwadas? Other Rajputanas? How do many of us know about it? We have forgotten. Do you know Alexander the Great, 326 BC, came to India. You all remembering a little bit, all of you are good teachers, readers. You know Alexander the Great won. Read his life. He became the emperor at the age of 20 and led the world's largest army. Came to India. Just try and think of it. He won against Boris. But do you know? He ran away from India? Please read it. It's there available. But guys don't read it. Wait the time. Might as well watch TV. I was amazed the day before yesterday we had a PTA. Our PTA good and secretaries asked everybody, please talk about yourself. I was just watching, majority of them, barring two, who said, I love reading. Do you remember? Everybody else said, I love to watch TV. I love to watch film. So what has happened to us? India doesn't like to read. The country of Vedas and Vyasas and Ganpati and Mother Saraswati, we don't like to read. So what has happened? We think now being cool is just copying other people. And this is, don't blame yourself. I'm not blaming you. I'm saying, arise, awake. Wake up. Don't keep sleeping. That's called Swadhinata. That's called becoming independent. Meaning what? Understand, I am there. Who's that? That's not this body, this clothes. There's something inside of me. But today, if you look at the whole world exists, that is you. Are you all agreeing with me? By the way, it's not my statement. How dare I make such statement? It's by Shankaracharya. And it's written on Brahma Sutra. This, the whole universe exists, only you and me. And if you look carefully and reflect on it, it is so. Now, that me is not this body, not this clothes, not the property. It is something else within me, which is making me breathe, which is making me stay good and healthy and peaceful, harmonious. Which is the other one which is making you suffer is you. You is you, not the people out there, but the things outside of me. What is it? Things. My senses say, I like that diamond. So now I want to go for a diamond. I don't have the money. I'm working, I have to get that diamond. I go ahead and get it. Does it make you feel happy now? For a few days, yes it does. Pizza Hut. I want to eat that pizza. Golgappa. But you eat 5, 6 Golgappa, 2, 3 pieces of pizza. After that, you love it. So you say, okay, let me have one more. Next day, Shada ma'am, I'm not well. I can't come to school. Right? This is what is that outside of you is creating trouble for you. So what do? We are looking at the rest of the whole universe. Say, and it is you. You are racing for that outside. Everything outside, which is what is creating. This is given in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Desire. Desire leads to action. Action leads to getting the thing. And getting more things. And getting more things. And getting more things. And then you suddenly realize, this is not what I want. Something else. And that's where the search began. The Indian notice, that's why the saffron color is called sacrifice. What did Dada Vaswani? He left his body the other day. What did he say? We are born on this earth for you. Great Paramahamsa Ramakrishna. His disciples, what do they say? When I close my eyes, I find peace within. When I open my eyes, I say, what can I do for you? Can you see, this is India. And you and I have forgotten about it. In US, barring, I didn't have to wear the suit all the time, but in the flying, I had to wear my G suit, the anti-gravitational suit and etc. And as I came back, I used to wear my Indian kurta pajama or dhoti kurta. Everybody used to tolerate my sister, brother, they're all been there for a long time. So one day, my sister was not too well and she, some medicines had to be bought for her. So they all wanted to go out and have lunch outside. So they came and said, get ready. I said, I'm ready. He said, how can you come in this kurta pajama? Do you know this is America? I said, so what? No. You can't come. Come on, go and change. I said, then you all go ahead. I'm not coming. And they don't want to do. Where are you fighting? Where are you doing? I said, not fighting. I'm just telling you. I love being in this clothes. And hey, look, everybody else, you have to carry your country also. I'm not being awkward. I just like to be, and I'm quite comfortable with this. Then they eventually couldn't. They said, okay, come. So we went out. As we went out, we went to a drugstore. I had to buy some medicines for my sister. I said, relax, I'll buy. So I bought. That lady must be a Spanish lady or that kind of American. She says, cool dress, where did you get it? I didn't tell my brothers and sisters, see, I didn't say that. I just said, thank you very much. He said, namaste. We came away, we didn't say anything. I was feeling good, somebody else has recognized it. So at least my point is proven, but I don't want to brag about it. We went. Now my niece wanted an Apple charger because her Apple charger pin was broken, and she said, I have no mobile, no battery. She said, I'll stay back and look after my mom. I said, okay, we'll buy. So I went to the Apple store, the huge Apple store. We went, there's a tall Afro-Asian, you know who you call Negro? Afro-Asians. Came, usual that clothes with a jean and a little walking shoe, and came like that, and he said, can I buy a dress like this? I said, sure you can. He said, where? I said, this is New Orleans. New Orleans, you can find lots of Indian stores. You can go and buy them. They're very good. And as I was leaving, he was standing somewhere there loitering, maybe one of the manager or something like that. He again patted me on the shoulder. Good guy. When we were having lunch, I was telling my brothers, I said, why you guys feel so shy about carrying your own? You and I have, you know why? It's not your fault. It's our country's education system. And I'm glad you brought out that Saptameva Jayate. How many of us are following it? Start following it right now. That's being independent. I shall not tell lies. I shall live for other people. I'm going to help them. Do you know today, top 15 brains in the world are all Indians? But let's not be proud about just some number. Let's be proud by being somebody in my family, in my society, in my somebody, so that everybody says, very nice. The moment they see you, they should smile. Instead of walking out of you with a frown. That's being Indian. Bharatiya, Bha is Brahma Jyoti. Do you know that? And Rata is those who are immersed in that Brahma Jyoti. Meaning what? I understand who I am. So, what does the ancient India say? Sat, Chit, Ananda. Sat is what? Existence. You and I are existing in this earth, right? We are living. Making this body a good temple, live happily, not overeat, not oversleep. At the same time, not deprive, but not go and fast also, and not sleep at all also. Balance, moderation. That's called existence. Chit is consciousness. Nothing in this universe exists other than your consciousness, and the other is called matter, which is you. Including your mind, including your faith. Have you noticed? Your mind is your mind. Nobody else has got that mind. Your thinking process is yours. People in the Western world say, how can it be matter? It doesn't occupy space. Vedanta says it does. It occupies only in you. Nobody else has your faith. Only you have. You can have many great Muslim, great Hindu, great Sikh, but can they all have same level of faith? No. They're all different. You'll be surprised, I think 2 days or 3 days back, there was a big fight, internet big fight. It's called Big Fight. You all can watch it also. Go to the YouTube and type Big Fight. The big fight was, does God exist? And what is it? This outside world is real or this other world is real? And on that was the big fight. What I was, enthralled to see, majority of the speakers were Indian and Indian monks and Indian scientists and Indians who call those who say, I don't believe in God. So notice what we are trying to talk about. What is an atheist? India says, Bharat says, atheist is the one who does not believe in himself. His own self. Do you believe in yourself? Then you are not an atheist. And that is called Chit, consciousness, and then comes Ananda. Be joyful, be happy, spread that happiness and the joy. And the journey towards that joy is learning to be silent, learning to be still. This is what India talked about it. You and I, you notice 100 is the whole world, in which 99.99% is outside. How much time do we spend for that inside? We have decorators for our building, our house, our flats, for the garden. What about interior decoration? Inside. So, read some of these beautiful books. They're called Pride of India. I had got, I think, 12 of them. 11 of them are there in the library. Please read it. You'll be amazed to hear all these discoveries that you talk about today were discovered long, long ago in India. And that book talks about it, which Isaac Newton and Einstein and Graham Bell have discovered. It was discovered long time ago in India. I'm not trying to pass a message that be Indian, buy Indian, or that kind of a Hindu mahasabha. We are saying now, bring a balance. Enjoy the whole universe created by God. Have pizza also, but don't forget Golgappa. Have pav bhaji too. Go and have Kentucky Fried Chicken. Use Western clothes, but don't forget your Indian clothes. So I feel so happy to see Shada ma'am. I always tell her, she's carrying herself the best. And you know, when Milad's parents told her that you look most Indian, she just smiled and she said, that was my dream, that my countrymen should tell me you look Indian. I was very proud. I never shared it with her, but I kept the thought within myself because it's not a secret. She said, I am going to be Indian. And look, you and I are not Indian. Truly, we should aspire, and we are the teachers, we are the school children, we have to tell our kids, go ahead, have what you like to, but don't forget your most important Bharat Mata, the Mother India. You know something? I spent a lot of time abroad. Please understand this. This is my realization today. The Indians abroad are more Indian than the Indians in India. Every week on a Saturday, Sunday, which is their holiday, they will have one Indian festival among the Indians. And many non-Indians are invited. They will have bhajan. They will have singing, dancing. And initially, honestly, when I started attending, naturally the girl has grown up there. She's wearing a tight mini skirt, but she's doing Bharatanatyam dance. It's a little mixture of the thing, but look at the fire in the mother of that girl. They do whatever you do, you have to learn. I couldn't understand a word what they were singing because it was highly anglicized, Americanized Hindi. I couldn't understand, but the effort was heartwarming. They would have a gathering where everybody will talk something about his village, his country. They're missing India. So now notice more and more they're coming back to India. They're realizing India is the answer. So today, I would like you to know, about 3 years ago, India was 15th in the world ranking. And today, India has become 6th. Did you know that? Go to the Wikipedia and type India's economy. We are 6th today. As per Bill Gates, which is there in our website. I know very few of us have really gone through it. Please go through it. In where he is saying, his prediction is 2020, China will lead the world economy with India close behind. So India is going to be number 2 from 6. India is today number 3 in PPP. When I read that, people purchasing power, I used to wonder how. But when I go to Phoenix Mall, I have no doubts. Phoenix Mall, day before, Shadam, me and Ira, we went there just for a short while. And I found real funny looking people wearing Americanized clothes. They must have come from the very poor family, now doing little education, studies and things like that. Maybe school, college students, little grown up. They must be around 20 or so. Everybody's got a mobile. Everybody wants to have barista coffee. So the purchasing power, India is number 3 today. So the whole lot of the world they're wanting to say, produce in India. Narendra Modi started that. Are you aware that the world's largest Samsung mobile factory is in Gurgaon? 75,000 Indian men and women have got jobs over there. Largest. I couldn't believe it. So it is happening. Can you and I also contribute? How do you do that? I'll give you two simple things. First one, I will tell you later. Second one, what you can do, hey listen, go through the school website, little bit, and look at the parental portals. There are lots of parental portals, India, Pune, worldwide. Look at them and you see a lot of information of victorious kids there. If you just write VKids, VKIDSS, you'll be surprised. I keep getting this surprising. And I love it. It says, I think it is India's best IB school, Pune's best IB school. It is there, like that. So what you could do, look at those sites, open one of the portal, and see is the information about India, is about victorious kids, what is there, is it correct or is it old? Long time back I had taken this drive, we had put a lot of it, but then I'm not getting the time. So I need all of your help. Everybody take on two sites, any two sites. Find out what are the information, and if you need to know, you got our team, plus you yourself are so intelligent, fill in the detail. And second thing, two actually, but then one. And that is, show it to the kids, show it to the people around, that I exist for you. You know what is it called in the ancient Vedanta? It says no, Tat Tvamasi, meaning I am that, Aham Brahmasmi, Tat Tvamasi. So I see God in you. So when you see God in your husband, can you fight with him? God in your wife, can you fight? God in your children, can you? And if you do, it will come to you. Don't fight. This universe has been created for everyone. Tell the children, this is one, and which flows from the other one is the national motto called Satyameva Jayate. Hold on to the truth. It's not easy, I can assure you. It's very tricky, very tough. That is called Satya Pratishta, as per established truth within you. You know what will happen? You'll be amazed to hear in a very short time, whatever you speak, if you follow truth, whatever you speak, God Himself will come and make it happen. Just because you have spoken. Because you speak truth. So when great saints and all say, you're 6 years old, how can you have a baby? Baba, kuch karo. So this is a very famous story called Lal Baba. The mother was massaging his feet, Baba kuch karo, I want a baby. So he did like this, and with his fork, he just pushed her and said, Chalo, go there. And you know who was born? Swami Rama. You've heard about this? Masters of Himalaya. He's got a huge, values of India spread world over. One of the largest in the United States. Huge in Switzerland. And of course in India, Haridwar, Rishikesh, etc. Swami Rama was born to a 61-year-old lady. 70 plus was the father. This, what happened? Why? Because he doesn't speak lies. So if he speaks, it has to happen. You'll be amazed to see it will happen to you too. Because we are not different. It will happen. So spread this word, read a few lines, read a couple of beautiful stories. These stories, I'm so delighted to see that Indian television portals are coming out with ancient Panchatantras and things like that. They're rejuvenating those stories. Okay, you also rejuvenate a little bit of 1-2 stories. Tell your own children at home, in the classroom. They're fantastic story. If you really read at it carefully, it's very nice. So, in the journey for becoming independent is when you realize, who am I really? Who am I? I'm not this body, I'm something else. And start the search. Automatically something will happen. When you race for the world, it's something different. When you race for yourself, you close your eyes. You have a nice day. Keep thinking.